Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. So if you saw the thumbnail and that's what brought you here, we are doing a stone for Remembrance Day. I know I'm a little late getting this out, but I wanted it to be perfect. So here it is. We are using a small oval stone that I made from the Happy Dotting Company molds, and I painted it black, 2 coats of black paint as my base coat. And now I'm just using one of my blending brushes, and I am just dotting on wherever I want to some holly green. This is going to dry a little bit darker, so I do want to lighten it up a bit. So now I'm going to add some sunflower. So that's the color name. It's by FolkArt. And I just happened to have it at my desk at the time when I was doing this because of other projects I've been working on. So I thought, you know what, let's just give it a try. So see how it blends. And I was very happy with the result. I don't want to blend it completely all together because I want this to resemble kind of grass. So grass isn't one solid color. It's a bunch of different colors of green all mixed in together. But you can still see some of the shades of dark colors and the light colors depending on where the sun is shining and all that good stuff. So now I'm going in with some DecoArt white, and I'm going to paint on a whole bunch of little white crosses. And I'm doing them in a diagonal because of that famous picture about the poppies grow between the rows. They're the rows of the marked graves of soldiers that lost their lives for our freedom. So I'm just doing them in diagonal rows. I'm starting at the front with a big one, and then I'm going up diagonally and making them a little bit smaller with each one that I paint. So I'm not too worried about them being exact because I will be painting over some of these, which is okay. So I just really wanted to get that visual of those crosses that are of all those graves of the individuals who lost their lives for our freedom. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. And like I said, I do a lot of them. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to let you watch while I talk, and I say thank you for dropping in and watching this tutorial. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe, and remember to hit that notification bell so that you get a little pop-up that says, hey, I've posted something new. So you don't want to miss those. I've got a couple of the monthly flowers left to do. So November's is done and complete and will be posted next week. I also have December done already. And so I'm just editing that one so it's ready to go. Plus I have already got some videos ready to go for Christmas. I noticed my Christmas stock is actually very low. So we're going to be painting a lot of them together. And we're going to have a blast doing it and having so much fun with some giggles and things like that. So I hope you stick around. I hope you ring that notification bell so that you can join in with us when we start doing those. So I'm just adding that last row there. And now I'm coming in with Barn Red. This is also by DecoArt. All of the names of the paint that I use and the brand names will be listed in the description. I do that for every video because I do sometimes forget to mention what I'm using. So you can always go down into the description and check that out. And all I'm doing is just putting little blotches here and there of this red. When it dries, it's almost like a poppy red. So it worked really, really well. And I'm sorry if I seem a little distracted. It's because I have a cold, and it is the season, I suppose. And so I have to pause every once in a while because I'm getting ready to sneeze or cough, and I don't want to be doing that in your ear. So I'd like to say thank you in advance for being patient with me. So now that this is dry, you can see that the barn red has dried a pretty dark color. And now I'm just using my General's charcoal pencil to shape in where I want the bigger poppies to go. So these are the poppies that I'm really going to put some detail into them. So all I'm using is the barn red by DecoArt, and then a little bit of that sunflower color from FolkArt. And I'm basically doing like a one stroke kind of painting, but at the same time, I'm also doing some blending with my brush at the same time. So some of the lines were a little bit too thick, or maybe they weren't, the petals weren't big enough. So I just play around with this until I get to the look that I really want for this poppy. I also dip into a little bit of black with the barn red just to give it a darker tone so I could add in some shadows. And that's what I'm going to do right now. And I also do some more light areas. So it gives this poppy more of a 3D kind of look. I'm very happy with the way that this turned out. It was really pretty. I know I say that with a lot of my rocks, but I really, really do amaze myself sometimes on how well things turned out, and that they turned out the way that I had envisioned in my head. So I do act surprised because it's genuine. I really, really am sometimes very surprised on how well things turned out. So this being one of them. I didn't do any practice painting beforehand. I didn't do any sketches. I just went for it. And, sometimes that's all you need to do. And you end up with the best product because you're not thinking about it. And you're not, should I do it this way? Should I do it that way? There's no thinking of it. You just do it. And that's exactly what I did with these two poppies. So this is the first one. And I'm just adding in a little bit more darkness, just pure black into the center, because that's the center of the poppy. And then once this one is done, I'm going to move over to the other side, and I'm going to start working on the second poppy, which is sort of in a different angle. So that way we get two of these poppies right up in the forefront. And that's why doing the crosses in the background didn't need to be exact, because your focus is going to be on those poppies that are at the very front. And then you're going to have, your eye is going to trick you, or it's going to trick your brain in seeing all of those crosses in the background when you're really focusing on the foreground, which are these two poppies that are in the front. So that's one really cool thing about doing paintings. You don't have to put in as much detail in the background, because as long as you have the shape there and you've got the color, your eyes will trick your brain into seeing what's there. And you will put on your own kind of spin to it of what you're seeing. So that's why I love doing background so much. So let me know what you think. If I'm on the wrong track, please let me know. I'm up for any kind of criticism if you have any, preferably good criticism, but I will take the bad as well. Nobody's perfect. But this is just me. This is my process. This is, how I do things. And yeah, I'm just very happy with it. So now I'm doing the second poppy. I'm putting it into the area where I had sketched out with my General's charcoal pencil. The nice thing with those pencils is that they are chalk. So they do wipe off rather easily after you let your paint dry. I suggest at least 24 hours before you give it a wipe down. And you make sure that you take it off, because if you resin over top before you take away those lines are going to shine. So you're going to see all of those lines, and I know that's not something that you want to look at. So you don't want people to know what your secrets are, right? So we got to erase those lines. Plus, they're not part of the painting, so we just want to make sure that they're gone. So as I've been talking away with my raspy, plugged up nose voice, I've been painting this poppy. So I'm doing the same technique as I did the first one, where I use barn red and sunflower colors and mix them together so that I could get some shape to it. And I did the petals. And then I went in with some black, mixed it with some of the barn red to get some of the shadows in it. Now I'm putting in the center of that poppy, and I'm going to come in now and draw in or paint in the stems of these poppies. So I am using the holly green again in its true form, so there's no mixing of this color. And then I'm coming in with a little bit of that sunflower. So I really wanted to show you that you don't need a lot of colors in order to get the shades and the colors that you want. You just have to have the right ones to mix together. And that's what I used. So in total, there's like 5 different colors that I used in this, and that's it. And look at all the colors on this rock. It's just amazing if you can manipulate the colors, and you don't have to truly blend them together. You can just leave stripes in it. Like this one in particular, I'm leaving it lighter on one side of the stem because that's where the sun is hitting it, or maybe it's a really bright full moon. I don't know. But I'm just showing you that you can do this with using minimal amount of paint, especially with the colors, as long as you are comfortable with mixing them together. And that's exactly what I did here. So this is just about finished. I'm just adding a little bud there that hasn't bloomed yet, but it is starting to get ready to bloom. And yeah, this is to go out to everyone who has fought or is still fighting or is still trying to keep the peace in the world today and in the past. This was something I was very pleased to do. I know there's not a lot of veterans left from World War II, but I definitely want to give a big shout out and thank you for our freedom. It means so much to me to be able to be on this platform and bring this to you because of that. So if you see a veteran, say thank you and tell them you appreciate them. I'm sure that they would love to be recognized. So this is just about done. I'm finishing up putting around a black border just to sharpen it up a bit. And then I let it dry for 24 hours. Then I give it a coat of resin and I let it sit for at least a day or two before I put a felt bottom on it. And there you have it, folks. Life is what you make it. So get creative.